We're back with another monthly favorite video. This one includes August and September. For movies, we have The Dig. This movie was based on real events in the 1930s. It was interesting with a lot of charm, but also filled with heavy undertone of sadness and a lot of scenes looking at human nature and mortality. That makes it sound interesting, but honestly, it was kind of, it wasn't too bad. Space Jam 2. Oh my god. This movie reminded me a lot of Hook, with the villain trying to steal the busy dad's son away from him. It also had the same thing with Hook where the sets and CG were cool, but the story wasn't. The most interesting part of the movie was the background characters in the main event. This movie was just mediocre, overall. But for the kids, I could see it being pretty good. Suicide Squad. I loved this movie. I think James Gunn is becoming one of my favorite directors. He took the first film and turned it up so much more. I love the character progression with Harley, the loss of a big character, and of course King Shark. He's so cute. Also, I finally respect John Cena's acting. The Peacemaker fits him like a glove. This is my favorite role he's ever been in. So this is The Time Traveler's Wife. I stopped watching it. This movie was so bad. It was so bad. It was boring. It had child grooming, and I stopped watching when the wife went behind this dude's back to get pregnant after he got a vasectomy. It was just creepy. I just did not like this movie. It made me feel so gross. Ugh. I came back to this movie. I tried to watch it again and try to finish it. I could not. I don't know how people watch this. I don't know. Enola Holmes. This is definitely a kids movie. It has a Mary Sue and a predictable story. She's a genius, but she takes way too long to get to the answer that we already know. But somehow she still gets there before Sherlock, who's already distinguished detective. But since this is a kids movie, I'm gonna say it was still enjoyable. I couldn't help but see Sherlock as Superman in disguise, though. It was kind of weird. Grace and Frankie. This show. I could not get enough of this show. When I started it, I binged it. The later seasons are definitely a bit weirder, but I love the characters. It's like Golden Girls with a lust for anarchy. It's so good. The Cat Returns. This movie was cute. I honestly didn't think much of this movie at the time, but I noticed I was thinking of some of the scenes recently, especially of the big building that they work on. So this movie has been on my mind for almost 2 months now. It's very charming and sweet. Once Upon a Time in the West. A cinematic legend. I didn't realize how influential this movie was while I was watching it. You definitely have to see it. It's a classic. You'll get so many references from newer movies. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Another cowboy classic. I loved it. The danger kept elevating, and when you thought the close calls would stop, they just kept coming. It was so good. Our Souls at Night. I saw this because it had Jane Fonda and Robert Redford. These are two people I was already watching during this month, during Grace and Frankie and Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. It was slower, a lot slower, but I loved it. It was so calm and sweet, and it just felt real. The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. This movie was okay. I liked the visuals and the acting, and the end was lovely, but I just did not like Vesemir's dialogue in some situations. In the beginning, this kid loses his whole family and Vesemir's just joking with him. That's our first interaction with the main character. It's a pet peeve of mine, but it's just so callous for someone we're supposed to be cheering on. I don't get it. Anyway, apart from that, I really like the movie. Honestly, I wish it was a series. I want more. Vesemir is really cool, even if he's just cold sometimes. The Piano. This movie has a lot of trigger warnings. Similar to The Time Traveler's Wife, but this movie was actually good. I love the scenes, the setting, the tension. The story is so simple, but they fleshed it out to be so beautiful. I really enjoyed this one. Betty White, First Lady of Television. Betty White is so precious. I grew up with the Golden Girls. I loved her. She was the cool aunt who came into town on her motorcycle with her dog in the sidecar. She was just so amazing to me. This documentary talks about her beginnings and entertainment and her love life while just showering her with love and praise. It was such a lovely watch. It was such a good watch. We're starting this show off with Loretta by Ginger Root. The vibes in this song are so good. You get another level of entertainment if you watch the music video. This song is just so good from front to back. I don't remember how I found the song. It is so unlike my playlist, but I'm really glad I did. It's so good. And it just makes you want to dance. I do not dance, but this song is like, you can't help it. It's so good. Living on the Sand and The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie by Coulter Wall. I am back on my cowboy bullshit. I gave these songs a re-listen and I pretty much played them on repeat for a week straight. I love it. Songs of the Plains by Coulter Wall. Speaking of cowboy, this is straight up from a campfire at night in the middle of a cattle drive. Listening to this takes you straight to the plains with the tall grasses and the skies and everything. It's so pretty. I did not want to come back from this album. Willow Tree March by the Paper Kites. A song that does give off a little warrior marching vibe, a little adventure, and a lot of reminiscing flavors all in one. It's so good. Stubborn Love and Cleopatra by the Lumineers. I like Stubborn Love, but I love Cleopatra. I haven't listened to the Lumineers in years, but these songs make me want to go through their whole catalog, especially Cleopatra. I love that one. Freaking Out on the Interstate and Rose by Briston Maroney. I love the story in these songs, and Briston's voice is so interesting. These are songs you have on repeat for days. Hell and You by Amigo the Devil. This song is so raw and fun. It's just a great time, and Amigo the Devil is really fucking interesting. Dearly Departed and Pansy Waltz by Shaky Graves. I love the energy of Dearly Departed, but Pansy Waltz has this interesting flow to the song, and it reads like an epic poem. I can't get enough of it, especially just going back through the beginning and just following the journey of it. Time of My Life by Upsal. A very different song from the others on this list, very different. But what a good time. I love this song. It was so different from the other ones I was listening to. I found this recommended after I was listening to Sick Boy by Chainsmokers randomly. But I love it so much, especially the hook. It does this weird like tone change. I love it. Let Go by Dottie. The melody of the song is so soft and sweet, but the actual lyrics have a heat of anger, and I've been soaking in this song. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. This was a great 2 months. It was really fun, really kind of chill, honestly. I didn't do much in terms of like watching stuff outside my comfort zone, but I had a really good time. Hope you guys have a great month. See you guys later. Bye.